Hello guys, and welcome back to our little coffee club. Today's gonna be a morning brew, so a pre-workout. All right, so let's get this show on the road. Today we're gonna dial in this coffee here that Carrie recommended, the one from Beanstock. Let me read the tasting notes for you guys. All right, so it says Manos, Juntas, Colombian, Anaerobic natural. So Manos, Juntas, hands together. It's a light roast. All right, so the tasting notes. The tasting notes, it says toffee, apple blossom, and berry with one of these words, man. These tasting notes. I'm not gonna try to say it. I'm gonna put it here on the screen. I'm sorry, I can't remember how you pronounce this word. I don't wanna mess it up. And I'll put it all here on the screen. Anyway, I feel like some espresso today before the gym. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dial this in. I'm sure it's gonna be great for espresso and for pour-overs. You guys know most of the time in the morning what I make is pour-overs, but I've been up already for a couple hours. I had a pour-over earlier. So I'm gonna make a little pre-workout espresso. Depending on how much brightness and acidity this has, we might try to make a cappuccino with it, but I doubt it. It's a light roast. Most likely I'll just have the straight shot. You guys know how when the coffee has a lot of acidity and brightness, I like just to have the straight shot. I don't like to mix it with milk, but we'll see what happens. So I still haven't tried it. We're gonna open it. So let's see, let's get the bag open. Let's see if it's one of these that we gotta cut or, yeah, maybe. Anyway, let's get it on the other counter. Let's cut it open and let's dial it in for espresso. Okay, the bag even tells you gotta cut it open. So I just didn't read it. Okay. All right, let's see what this looks like. Oh man, this is light. This is light. This is gonna be lovely, lovely. Oh boy. Exciting. Let's get 18 grams dosed out. All right, this might take a few attempts, so we're gonna dial it in for the niche. Okay, let's go with 18 grams. 17.9, 18. Wow, this is, that's the thing. That's why I tell you guys. It's a huge, huge difference from some of the best store-bought coffees that we just finished checking out on the last video. Not huge, but there is a lot of incremental differences. As soon as you get these beans out of the bag, you could smell them. There's a big difference from, just the scent is just more enjoyable. So anyway, people don't understand, man, unless you're into all this kind of stuff and it's a hobby to you and you build your palate and your kind of process, then you start to understand the whole thing and why we geek out about it. Anyway, let's go ahead and grind it up. Okay, you know what? Something I forgot, guys. We need to check retention. It's always everyone's favorite part of the video. So I'm gonna reweigh it on here. Okay. Exactly 18 grams. Let's see what we get out from the niche. We're gonna grind at 15 just because it's a setting that's been working. We'll start there and see what happens. If I get anything between, I'd say between 20 seconds and 40 seconds, I think it's okay for to start off with. So if we get something like that, I might not even pull a second shot. I'll taste it. If it's nice and balanced, we might just run with that. So let's try it at 15 and see what we get. Okay, so we're at 15. Here we go. Okay, I always make sure that everything went through by turning it on one more time. All right, let's see what we got out. Wow, we had some retention today. All right, let me start it up one more time. That's the most off I've ever been on the niche. Yeah, I don't think anything, let's do what Angel says. I don't think anything's gonna it's gonna change because I didn't hear anything fall through. So, all right, we're gonna have to add a couple more beans. All right, so I'll just grab a couple more beans and then if I have to pull something out, I will. Okay, obviously now I think we got the bean that was stuck in there out, because now I put very little. We're at 18.7. So we're at 18.7, so I'm just gonna use a spoon and take a little bit out. Okay, 18. Okay, so we're exactly at 18. Let's do some puck prep. Oh, here's another thing. I always have the machine on and everything's hot by the time I start filming, but today everything's cold. So a little different process. We've never gone through this, but in case, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone watching this video knows, but on a machine like this one, it's pretty much instantly hot. So we'll just pull a couple of dummy shots and get everything up to temperature, and then you're good to brew. That's one of the advantages of a machine like this. You pretty much can pull instant shots. Again, I am gonna upgrade the machine as soon as what I want becomes available. I'm gonna order it. But for now, this is one of the advantages, you know, the infuser. You just turn it on, and in a few seconds you can pull a shot. Okay, that just takes a couple seconds. As soon as all the lights come on, we can pull a couple of dummy shots. All right, so that process takes about a minute or so, something like that. So now we gotta pull a couple of dummy shots. So I put the water, the hot water, right into the cup you're gonna drink from. That way it starts to get that hot as well. All right, let's do one more. Okay, then just take your cup with the water and just leave it somewhere. I'm gonna leave it on top of the machine, but leave it with the hot water in it. That way, again, it keeps everything nice and hot. Okay, so now we just dry the portafilter and we'll be ready to go. Okay, so that's it. Everything's up to temperature. We're ready to rock and roll. I have forgotten my WDT. Get that out. All right. Wow, that is super fluffy. Just a little bit of distribution with the WDT. Tap it down. Okay. Again, remember we're at 15. We'll see what happens with this. Distribute and tap. Okay, I got very little resistance, but somewhat in the right ballpark. So let's see what happens with this one. Okay, it went down quite a bit more. I have a feeling we're too fine. We'll see if the shot takes more than 40 seconds. Depending on the taste, I'm gonna probably have to pull another shot, but let's see what happens. Okay, lock it in. Let me bring you guys in a little bit closer. All right, don't forget to dump out the hot water from your cup or you might mess up your shot. All right, let's get the scale going. Okay. All right, wait until everything gets ready. You get the 8 flashing, and we're doing pre-infusion. Give it about 5-6 seconds, then you let go of the button and it'll start brewing your shot. It'll ramp up to full pressure. Yeah, we're gonna be too fine. We're gonna be too fine. This is gonna be a long shot. But again, we're not too far off. Maybe we might have to grind at 15.5, maybe 16. Let's see what happens here. Anyway, the machine is gonna time out in about a minute. So, and the scale stops. This is one of the things I wish that Time More would get this better dialed in, because if it brews really slow, this happens often, that it'll start timing your shot, you know. So, but anyway, I'm just gonna let this go. I'm gonna eyeball it here, but I think it's gonna time out before we get 54 ounces. I'm sorry, 54 grams out. You guys know I do a 1-to-3 ratio, 18 grams in, 54 out. Yeah, that's definitely not 54 grams in there. So this is a little bit more concentrated, and it took about a minute to brew. So I'm gonna still taste it, see what I get from it. Let me tell you guys. Let me get my scale out of the way. We're not too far off. That was a good first attempt. We got nice crema, of course, because the coffee is so nice and fresh. This coffee is less than 2 weeks old since they roasted it. Wow, you know, it's not bitter. It's not bitter at all. I think like this is acceptable to make a milk-based drink with it. Man, I gotta say it tastes good. Wow, that's a fine shot. I would definitely drink that. But for the sake of argument, let's pull another one. Let's pull another one. But I hate dumping it out because it tastes good. But all right, let's pull another one for the sake of the video. You guys know I don't like wasting. I'm sorry that I'm gonna have to dump this out, but we're gonna pull another one just to try to get it a little bit faster. But you know what? This is not bad at all. It's a good first impression on this coffee. All right, I'm gonna pull another dummy shot just to keep everything nice and hot. Although everything is hot now, but we'll just do one more. All right, everything's up to temperature. Let me dry the portafilter. All right, keep things tidy. Okay, that's the most retention I've ever gotten from the niche. So, I mean, still 0.3. I don't think that's gonna make any difference, but. Okay, so this is pretty much ready. All right, let's try another 18 grams. All right, so we're gonna go up to, well, we're gonna go up to 15 and a half. I don't wanna go a whole, sometimes one whole movement makes a big difference. I'm gonna keep it below 16. Okay, I went just past the 15 and a half. Maybe let's call it 15.7. So just past 15 and a half. But definitely we're gonna stay below 16. We don't wanna speed it up a whole bunch. And sometimes on the niche, you go up by a whole one click, and it makes a big difference. And that just depends on the coffee. I've had some coffees that you gotta move it a whole bunch to make a big difference. So it just varies. Okay, it's right at 18. Let's try again. Okay, try it one more time. Let's see if everything went through. Wow, again. I'm not sure what's going on today. Yeah, between 7.6 and 7.7, we were at 18. So yeah, again, another beaner. All right. Let me get it up to 18 grams, and then we'll try again. These beans are fighters, guys. They're fighters. They don't want to go through. I could hear them like going, you know, it took long, but eventually you hear them falling in. So, okay, so this time we're at 18.4, so I'm gonna have to take out a little bit. Wow, okay, 18, right on the dot. Let's do some pot prep. Okay, so I moved it on the niche about 0.7 of a click, so not a little more than half a click, but not as much as a full click. We'll see how much difference it makes on this particular coffee. Okay, wow, it's really hot now. All right, some WDT to get everything nice, declumped and distributed. Okay, some distribution. You know, when you get a little tiny resistance when you push this in, then I think maybe it does help somewhat. I don't know to what extent, but it maybe does make a little bit of a difference when you do get some resistance. Now there's some of these that are weighted and then they fall into the coffee, and those always probably work a lot better than this. But anyway, let's see what we get with this now. All right, so it went down a little bit more, but not as much as last time. So let's see if we get a good shot. Again, we're shooting for maybe 40 seconds or so. Let me bring you guys in closer. Again, on a light roast like this, I'm usually more like around 25 seconds, but I don't think we're gonna be anywhere near 25 seconds. So we're shooting for maybe 35 to 40. But if you want a lot of acidity and brightness on a light roast, you might wanna get it faster than this, but let's see where we're at. Okay, here we go. So again, pre-infusion, full pressure. Wow, pretty much the same result. So I think this is one of those coffees where you gotta, when you're dialing in, you gotta definitely move it more of an adjustment. So, but let's see, it's building up. Oh man, this coffee has nice crema. That looks nice. No, we're gonna be somewhere in the right range. But again, now I'm gonna write it down, and next time I'm gonna grind it at 16. So a full click from where we started. Let's see if we can get it up to around 50 grams. We're at 40. I'm gonna stop it at 50. Oh, it timed out. It timed out just when I pressed it, so I had to repress it. Okay, so we ended up with 49.6 grams in 49 seconds. So again, it's still too slow. I am gonna drink this shot though, because the last one was lovely. I'm definitely not throwing this one away. This one's gonna be a little bit better still. So, and I'm gonna make a note of it, and next time we'll grind at 16. Maybe even, I don't know, maybe even just past 16. I'm gonna put it at 16.2 for the next time. All right, so next time I'm gonna try it at 16.2 and see if we can speed it up a little bit more. But considering that the last shot was really good, this one's only gonna be better. So let me swirl it around a little bit and give it a taste test. So the thing about these little Kruf shot glasses, they have these little winglets inside that stir up the coffee, so you don't have to use a spoon. Again, it's all little incremental changes, you know. The fact of knowing like where the coffee came from, what farm, what's the origin, all these kind of things that they give you from specialty. You get it's just fresher, it smells better, you grind it. Right now the smell in this kitchen is just fantastic, I gotta say. And then the taste, again, is it a huge difference? No, it's still coffee, okay? It's still coffee, but you are gonna get the tasty notes. It does make a difference, especially if once you start getting into light roast, you start developing your palate. And again, maybe I don't expect to ever become an expert, but there are experts out there that can really tell these differences. If you guys by now watched James Hoffman's video, you could tell like he calls the coffees as he goes through the process. He can recognize them. Oh, this is the one again with the acidity. Like he really picks them out just like that. So it's, you could get to that level. Anyway, let me taste this. I was letting it cool a little bit. Man, it's great. You know, the last shot was fine, but you could tell with this one, it's better balanced. The other one, it was introducing a little bit of bitterness, and you know what? I wouldn't call it bitter. A little bit, where you could start kind of feeling it. This one, that's gone. If you get it faster, I'll probably get more brightness out of it, more acidity out of it. Man, that's wonderful. You know, do I taste the apple? Do I dare say that I taste, you know, this is all, I think it's placebo. I really do. But I kind of taste apple. If the bag didn't, let me see, I think it said apple. At least that's what I think I'm tasting. Wow, this is so cool. Anyway, let's see. Okay, so it was toffee, apple blossom. Okay, so apple blossom. I've never tasted the apple blossom, okay, just the apple. And berry. Okay, so like I tell you guys, it's always, you know, all the specialties, you know, you are gonna get some subtle differences. It's fun to look for the different tasting notes. It's fun to taste the subtle differences between the coffees. While this shot is nice and thick, you know, the people that drink, it's a lot more common to make a 1-to-2 ratio. So about 36-40 grams out. I like getting a little bit more liquid out of it, like around 50-54 grams out. But this is already like super thick, so I don't know. And I like to enjoy it a little bit longer, you know, get that little extra. I could see it, a little berryness, little fruitiness. Acidity is not super high, but again, if I get the timing to brew a little bit faster, maybe it'll come up, the acidity. I can't wait to try it as pour over. Anyway, Carrie, great suggestion. A new roaster for you guys to check out. So Beanstock, I said it on the last video that they are out of Cape Cod. By the way, I ordered it, it came right away. I mean, I think it took 4 days to receive it. So very fast shipping. The coffee's super fresh. They tell you when they roasted it on the bag. They'll tell you about the coffee itself. There's a bunch of information on the bag that I actually haven't read it yet. So let's see when I get around to checking that out. But it's a great suggestion. Check them out. Beanstock. I'll put their website here on the screen, so it makes it easy for you guys. Man, that's good. That is so good. You know, this one with milk, I could see it. Usually a light roast because of the acidity, but this one, at least right now, it's not super high in acidity. It has some. The first cup, it had very little acidity, still had a little bit. And it had a little bit of bitterness on it already. It was, you know, it was a little bit. You could taste it a little bit. But the other one with milk would have been perfectly fine. Again, I hated throwing away. I took another sip. I threw away about half of it. So I'm gonna be fully caffeinated for the gym today. Definitely the berries, as it cools, I'm getting more of that. So nice fruity coffee, nice acidity, lovely. Well, this is all the pre-workout that I'm gonna need today. I'm gonna be ready. Wow, excellent. Taste changed a little bit there on the last sip. It is getting cooler, so you get a little bit, the flavors do change, you know, as you're enjoying your coffee. These coffees with lighter roast with a lot of tasting notes, that it's not just like the pure coffee flavor, kind of, you know, kind of harsh stuff that you get out there in like at your local diner somewhere. Definitely, as it cools, you're gonna get different tasting notes. So always enjoy your coffee. Think about the different tasting notes and stuff as you're enjoying it, and let it cool a bit so that you can have a chance to experience the change as it happens, because it always changes a little bit as it cools. Very interesting, very nice. I loved it. I'm glad that I grabbed the full pound so I can experiment some more with it. I think I might try to make a milk-based drink with this one. We'll see. And we're gonna definitely do a pour over, maybe on the next video. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for the next video. Hopefully you guys liked the last one with the comparing the 4 coffees. I have been playing around with those coffees some more, and I gotta say that the Starbucks one, which you guys saw that it came in last, it definitely benefited from a lower water temperature. I brewed it at 95, and the timing was, you know, pretty much about the same. And although I did grind it a little bit coarser, but that coffee produces quite a bit of fines, so I'm gonna have to go coarser still to speed it up. But definitely wow. I think at the end of the day, when I finish with these coffees, they're all gonna land right there next to each other. But definitely, I don't see any of them having as much acidity as I was able to get from the Dunkin' Donuts one. And it depends how much you value that, okay? If you really like that acidity, that citrus kind of berries, fruity acidity in the coffee, you know, it depends how much you appreciate that. So if you weigh that highly like I do, I love that, as far as especially in pour overs, but in straight shots too. I love to have a little bit of that interesting acidity. But if you value that a whole bunch like I do, then I think you would score it the same. Okay, so if you guys try that experiment, pick a couple of those coffees, pair them up against each other, and let me know. Okay, let me know. Anyway, I appreciate every single one of you guys. I appreciate all the comments. That means a lot to me. Please keep making comments on the videos. Let's keep sharing information back and forth. Like I always say, we could learn together. By no means anywhere near an expert. I would love to see James Hoffman try the fills versus the Dunkin' and whole bean, dial them in perfectly, and then see which one he likes most. Definitely James is the GOAT as far as coffee videos on YouTube. Anyway, guys, please give the video a like, subscribe to our little coffee club. I'd love to see you comment something below, and I'll check you guys out next week.